This is not a slogan, it's not bitterness, it's not a tantrum thrown by men who couldn't keep up. It's a quiet, heavy conclusion many older men reach after decades of observation, experience, and emotional cost. They don't announce it loudly. They don't protest in the streets. They simply withdraw. They choose peace over performance, solitude over negotiation. And they do it with a calm certainty that confuses younger men who are still chasing validation in a system that no longer rewards loyalty, patience, or depth. When men are young, they believe love is effort-based. They think if they improve themselves, provide stability, show consistency, and lead with integrity, the world of relationships will meet them halfway. This belief fuels ambition. It pushes men to build careers, develop discipline, and delay gratification. But as men age, something unsettling begins to emerge. The rules they were taught no longer apply. The standards shift. The expectations inflate. And the reward for commitment quietly disappears. Older men have lived through multiple cultural cycles. They remember a time when attraction was built through proximity, shared struggle, and mutual dependence. They watched relationships form slowly, imperfectly, but with gravity. Today they observe a landscape dominated by abundance illusion. Endless options, endless comparisons, endless dissatisfaction. Modern dating does not reward depth. It rewards novelty. It does not prioritize character, it prioritizes perception. And older men, having already played this game and paid its price, increasingly refuse to participate again. This isn't about hatting women. That framing is lazy and dishonest. Older men don't hate modern women. They simply understand them. They understand the incentives shaping behavior. They understand how social validation, algorithmic attention, and cultural narratives have rewired expectations. And most importantly, they understand themselves. They know what it costs them emotionally, financially, and psychologically to engage in a system that demands constant proving while offering diminishing returns. There is a silent shift that happens in a man after enough disappointment. He stops romanticizing connection. He stops projecting meaning where none is reciprocated. He starts valuing predictability, calm, and autonomy more than chemistry. Younger men mistake this for emotional shutdown. It's not. It's emotional efficiency. It's wisdom born from pattern recognition. Modern relationships ask men to be endlessly adaptable but never fully authoritative, to be emotionally open but never emotionally heavy, to lead but never dominate, to provide but never expect appreciation, to tolerate uncertainty while offering stability. Older men have learned that these contradictions are not accidental, they are structural. They are baked into a culture that celebrates female empowerment without redefining male value beyond utility. In previous generations, male sacrifice was socially acknowledged. A man worked, endured, and provided, and in return he received loyalty, respect, and partnership. Today, sacrifice is expected but rarely honored. Provision is framed as obligation. Leadership is reframed as control. Masculine boundaries are labeled insecurity. Older men see this clearly because they've lived long enough to compare eras, not just adapt to one. Another truth younger men haven't yet encountered is that attraction alone is not enough to sustain a relationship in a hyper-individualistic culture. When personal fulfillment is prioritized above collective responsibility, commitment becomes conditional. Love becomes a mood. Loyalty becomes negotiable. Older men have watched relationships dissolve not because of betrayal or abuse, but because someone felt unfulfilled. They have learned that building a life with someone who sees exit as empowerment is an unstable investment. So they opt out, not dramatically, quietly. They stop chasing, they stop explaining, they stop negotiating their self-respect. They invest in routines, health, hobbies, and a small circle of trusted men. They rediscover purpose outside romantic validation, and something unexpected happens. Their lives get calmer, their stress lowers, their sense of control returns. This is the part no one tells younger men. Walking away doesn't make you bitter. It makes you selective. It doesn't make you lonely. It makes you sovereign. Older men don't fear dying alone. They fear dying resentful, drained, and misunderstood while sharing a bed with someone who never truly respected them. Modern dating culture often frames male withdrawal as failure, but older men know the difference between rejection and refusal. They are not being left behind. They are stepping aside. They are choosing not to play a game designed to extract value without offering stability in return. There is also a biological reality younger men underestimate. As men age, their need for sexual novelty decreases, but their need for peace increases. Testosterone may decline slightly, but clarity increases significantly. The thrill of pursuit loses its power when weighed against the cost of emotional turbulence. Older men no longer confuse excitement with fulfillment. They no longer mistake attention for affection. What modern culture calls settling, older men call discernment. They understand that companionship without respect is erosion, that intimacy without alignment is chaos, that constant emotional labor is not love, it's management. And they are done managing adults who refuse accountability while demanding understanding. This doesn't mean older men are incapable of love. On the contrary, many are deeply capable, but they reserve that capacity for rare conditions: mutual respect, shared values, emotional maturity, and genuine appreciation. These qualities are not impossible to find, but they are increasingly uncommon in a dating ecosystem optimized for short-term validation rather than long-term bonding. There is also the unspoken issue of risk. Older men have assets, routines, and reputations built over decades. They have more to lose. Modern relationship norms often trivialize male loss while amplifying female vulnerability narratives. Older men notice how quickly accountability shifts when things go wrong. They notice how easily male intentions are reframed as manipulation once emotions sour. They choose caution not out of fear, but out of rational self-preservation. Younger men are still taught to man up and take risks in love. Older men know that reckless vulnerability in a system without reciprocal responsibility is not bravery, it's foolishness. They've already paid tuition. They don't need another lesson. This creates a generational divide. Younger men chase approval in digital marketplaces. Older men build meaning in analog reality. Younger men argue online about dating standards. Older men wake up early, train their bodies, manage their finances, and enjoy silence. Younger men feel invisible. Older men embrace invisibility as freedom. The irony is that once a man truly stops needing romantic validation, he becomes more grounded, more attractive, more respected. But by that point, he no longer cares. His value is internal, his worth is not negotiated, and his time is protected. This is why many older men would rather die single than date modern women. Not because modern women are inherently flawed, but because the cultural framework surrounding modern relationships is unstable, asymmetrical, and exhausting for men who have already done the work. They are not running from connection. They are walking toward peace. And peace, once tasted, is very hard to give up.